Right now at 5, a highway project could mean the end of a 97-year-old landmark.
And we've had showers and thunderstorms this morning. Some of those have been severe. More showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, overnight flash flooding left some Joplin streets underwater.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to KOAM News this morning. It's 5 a.m. I'm Blake Gully.
Hi, Chris Porter. It's Friday, the 26th now. Of course, we had our alert day yesterday.
Yes.
We had some severe weather push through. We had a severe thunderstorm warning early this morning. 3 a.m. I think it was around that time. So.
Oh yes, and I came to work in some of that this morning.
And we still have showers and storms out there. Thankfully, right now, nothing strong or severe, but unfortunately, we have that risk at least one more time as we roll into the afternoon. Let's start, though, first with a quick look outside from the Westcote Cameron 7th and Range Line. And it's a bit on the soggy side, the rain falling. It's starting to break up a bit, but we are still getting some showers out there. MoDOT Camera 32nd and Hammonds, looking back to the east. Again, a bit of a soggy start for us. So our main leading edge of these thunderstorms is starting to push off to the eastern fringes of our area. We still have some showers and some thunderstorm activity, though. We're going to start down here in McDonald County. So you see the lightning strikes. Of course, that would qualify as a thunderstorm for us. Just to the south of Stella or southeast of Goodman. We follow 76 back off to the east, and we'll head up to Purdy. We've got shower and thunderstorm activity, some heavy rain there. Monette, Aurora, Freistadt, Mount Vernon. And we come back over toward Sarcoxy, Carthage, Diamond, Red Oak, Golden City, and then heading up toward Nevada, Stockton, Greenfield, some showers, some lighter showers out into southeastern Kansas from, let's say, just between Howard and Sedan toward Independence, Coffeyville, Parsons, Girard. We got one thunderstorm right outside our area here, so just to the west of Caneyville, just outside of Chautauqua County in southeastern Kansas. All right, all this activity has been continuing. We had one storm here recently. It flared up and then fizzled right back out. It's just south of Miami and Ottawa County. And all of this, again, below severe limits. You can kind of see it's actually been winding down. There's that severe thunderstorm warning we had earlier this morning. We had the storm as it came through. It began an easterly push that bowed out, and for a bit we had some gusty winds, but so far that's it as it stands right now. 69 is where we're sitting in Joplin. We're at 68 in Pittsburgh, and across the region temperatures hanging out to the upper 60s, and a lot of low to mid 70s. Very mild start for some of us. We got 74 Grove and Bentonville, the warmer spots. 73 though, Veneta, Miami, Anderson, so right behind out there. We have a number of flood watches still. We have a number of flood warnings still. So far in our immediate area, we haven't had significant reports involving property or people. We do have flooding taking place. We have flash flooding taking place in the area. We're going to have more on that, but if you're doing anything today, going out, you know your route's prone to flooding, you need to have an alternate route ready to go because we're going to have to deal with this for a while. And that goes into this weekend. I know I mentioned it yesterday, but I just want to drive it back home. These flood watches may expire, but you need to pay close attention to these flood warnings if you're planning on going by any waterways this upcoming weekend as temperatures begin to climb, because if there's flood warnings, flood advisories in place, you need to stay away from those areas because it's going to take some time. We've had a couple of weeks of heavy rain here off and on, and so it's going to take some time for those water levels to drop back down. We do have a severe risk again later today. We don't really have any hail or tornado risk areas highlighted. Kind of barely see tornado risk here. Our greatest concern is going to be that 2 out of 5, which by the way, it has gone up from yesterday, for the potential for some damaging winds, maybe 60, 70 miles an hour. So what's expected is the activity we have this morning begins to wind down a bit. Could have some spotty showers in the morning. And then as we go into the afternoon, new thunderstorm development takes place, and this carries on into the late evening hours and into the overnight as well. So some isolated to scattered storms again through the morning. We start to dry out for a bit, mostly cloudy skies, and then we'll see storms returning later with highs back into the mid 80s again today. We'll talk more about our storm chances through the day today into early Saturday and about the summer heat that's about to make an appearance here in just a few more minutes. Blake?
Thanks, Chris. Flash flooding swept through the Joplin area overnight, prompting concerns across the region. Heavy rain sent water rising quickly, flooding roads and low-lying areas across Joplin. Officials urged drivers to stay out of the flooded streets as conditions worsened throughout the night. The flash threat has since been passed, but some roads may still have standing water or debris. Drivers are asked to slow down and use caution during this morning's commute. One man walked away without injury after a fiery crash near Carterville Thursday. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a Chevy Trailblazer left the road, hit a driveway, and slammed into a utility pole. The SUV caught fire, leaving live power lines on the vehicle. The driver escaped safely and refused medical treatment. Crews closed the highway for about 2 hours while the fire was put out and the damaged pole was repaired. Residents of Altamont, Kansas are worried about the future of a historic building after KDOT expanded plans for a US 160 highway improvement project last week. KOAM's Olivia Moss spoke with the owners of the Baker's Station as they work to protect the city's landmark.
Beneath the peeling paint and broken windows is a building nearly a century old.
Here you go, giant Pepsi machine.
And full of memories.
A lot of people hold memories from when they were in high school or when they brought their car here to Tommy. Except for Monday, Tommy did not touch Ford's.
And while owners Cindy and Ron Vanderford plan to restore Baker's Station, they are worried they won't have the chance.
So we were informed from a family friend that went to the KDOT meeting that they were looking at tearing down our Texaco station.
A recent public meeting informed residents that the US 160 Highway Improvements Project would extend through Altamont to US 59. The project is still in the discovery phase and seeks to widen roads and add sidewalks.
We haven't even done the survey through the city portion yet, and everything. So we don't know what it's going to entail and do to the Baker's building.
The porch of Baker's Station sits right off the current road. The Vanderfords are currently working with a historical society to help preserve the station.
We are in the future wanting to restore this building back to the way it looked in 1928, and so now we're saddened by the fact that we might lose this building, and that's what we're trying to keep from happening.
KDOT says they will hold another public meeting once plans for the project are halfway developed. In Altamont, Kansas, I'm Olivia Moss, KOAM News.
Meeting detailed plans will be posted on their website at ks.gov. The public comment period is open until July 2nd. Fletcher Auto Group donated 90 blankets and pillows to patients receiving cancer treatment at Freeman Health System. This year's donation was made possible through an expanded fundraising effort, allowing the dealership to provide more care packages than ever before. Each blanket also included handwritten messages of hope from customers and community members, offering encouragement to patients during treatment.
I just think it's really, really honorable to be able to do this, just because a lot of people are affected by cancer every single day. And so for us to be able to bring comfort to those that are in need of this, I love it. I'm so happy. This makes me so happy to be able to just be a small part of their journey.
Yes, this is the 8th year Frank Fletcher has donated blankets to the chemotherapy patients at Freeman Health System. It may be the off season, but for some Lamar High School football team, the teamwork still stays strong. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how they're working to give back to the community through its annual trash pickup day.
We clean up every street in town. So I have a map. We have usually 9 to 12 crews working each year, and I just give them a street and they clean up the entire street.
Every year for the past 20 years, the Lamar High School football team has raised money by helping clean up their community. Head coach Jared Beshore helps make sure no street is left untouched.
Anybody that needs just help picking up sticks, loading off leaves, obviously bigger items that they can't handle themselves, whether they don't have a truck or trailer, we'll pick those up if they need it.
For the team, the event is more than just about raising money, but giving back to the community that continues to support them.
They come out and support us every Friday night, unlike any other team we've ever seen, and it only seems fair to us to give back and help the community in some way, and this is one way that we do it.
For junior Gabe Johnson, the experience allows him and his teammates to get even closer together, part of what Coach Beshore refers to as the brotherhood.
We've had some crazy finds, couches, mattresses, basketball goals, all the fun, crazy stuff that you find, and that's always what makes it fun, and just the camaraderie of the whole team. driving around town, hanging out. It's always a fun time.
And it adds even more of a meaning to putting on the jersey.
Coach Bailey used to always say it, former head coach, it's way better to have a football town than it is a football team. And, you know, we've had our good football teams over the year, but I think what truly makes the Lamar football program special is how good of a football town we are.
In Lamar, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Yes, Coach Bashar says the team routinely tries to provide opportunities to service those in need. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on KOAM News Morning. Donkey is getting his own movie, Jay-Z is getting a documentary, and Miranda Lambert is dropping a new album. Topping today's World Watch, a powerful earthquake has left more than 200 people dead in Venezuela. The U.S. Geological Survey says 2 strong quakes hit near the town less than a minute apart. Venezuela's interim president has declared a state of emergency, and the airport is closed because of damage. Thousands are hurt, and the death toll is expected to rise as search and rescues continue. The U.S. is among the countries now stepping in to help. CBS News reports.
Rescue teams in Venezuela are going through collapsed buildings floor by floor looking for signs of life. People in one of the hardest hit towns north of the nation's capital took matters into their own hands Thursday, locating a woman buried in the rubble. This mother, whose 8-year-old is among dozens still unaccounted for, fought back tears waiting on heavy machinery to arrive. Video captured the moment the ceiling at Simón Bolívar International Airport gave way Wednesday as a pair of powerful earthquakes leveled neighborhoods. The U.S. Geological Survey says a magnitude 7.2 earthquake hit about 100 miles west of Caracas, followed less than a minute later by a magnitude 7.5 tremor.
The ground was shaking very, very hard, so everyone rushed out. The electricity lines above us were exploding.
Un hecho de grave consecuencia.
Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, has declared a state of emergency as nations around the world, including the U.S., move quickly to provide assistance.
We're already deploying search and rescue teams from Fairfax County, Virginia, and Los Angeles. There'll be some others we'll add. That's their most immediate need right now.
The South American country has been in turmoil in recent months following the U.S. operation that ousted its former leader, Nicolas Maduro. Along with search teams, the Trump administration says it's sending medical resources and humanitarian aid to help those in desperate need of relief. Quinn Baumgartner, CBS News.
Officials say the 2 quakes are among the strongest to strike the country in more than a century. So far, at least 20 aftershocks have been reported. We are tracking thunderstorms across the 4 states. Chris has a look at the forecast coming up next. Movie and music news now. Here's Douglas Hyde with today's Hollywood Minute.
You really can't help yourself, can you?
Hell to the no, I can't.
Donkey returns to the big screen next year in Shrek 5, and it looks like we'll be seeing even more of him after that. A solo Donkey origin story's in the works and set to hit the big screen in 2028. Eddie Murphy will be back, of course, to lend his voice to the Shrek sidekick.
Everyone had the same experience, except I was the one that could stand on the soapbox and articulate what we were going through.
Jay-Z reunites with collaborator and legendary music producer Rick Rubin for a candid conversation in Jay-Z in 8. The 8-part documentary series debuts on HBO Max this fall and takes an in-depth look at the iconic rapper's life and music. Miranda Lambert is cooking with Crisco. That's the name of her upcoming album, which now has a release date, October 2nd. The country star's 12-track set is inspired by everything from honky-tonk to disco. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Well, we've been cooking with Crisco for many years, but never thought about a song. And now here to Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, we again got some scattered showers and storms out there this morning. We'll have a few more showers and storms. Some of those could be strong later today into tonight, and a few more possible tomorrow. And then we start heating up after that. Details when we come back.
I watch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:22 on this Friday morning, starting again with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Activity beginning to wind down a bit, at least for the time being. Still have some heavier rain down here south of Monette, so we're heading back toward from Purdy, just north of Cassville, stretching back over from Jenkins to Stella. We've got some heavier showers around Aurora, Freistatt, Mount Vernon, Miller, wrapping up, or at least winding down back toward Avila, Carthage, Sarcoxy. Up to the north, Greenfield, some moderate showers, Stockton, same, Nevada, Drywood, Lamar, kind of winding down as well. We've got a few other showers out here from Howard to Sedan, and then from those points off east into Oswego, and a couple of light showers here around Neosho and Seneca. And that's about it of all that's left from the 2 rounds of strong to even severe storms that we got last night. You can see where this line, as it pushed southeast, it was all right, and then this thing took a turn to the east, and as it did, it got a surge and got a little bowing structure on it, and so it led to a brief severe thunderstorm warning this morning in parts of, let's say, Crawford, Cherokee, Barton, and Jasper County. So it's just right in through here. It was brief, but still produced some gusty winds for a little while. Now, we do have the chance for some additional strong to potentially severe storms as we head into this afternoon. All right, you can see that tornado risk just barely clips us. Remember, though, I mean, in general, remember, it's never zero. It can be very low. It's never zero. Same with the hail risk, very low. Our greater concern, again, goes back to some damaging winds. So what we've got, though, is this risk extends further off to the east because we're going to be back on the beginning side of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon. So through the morning, we're going to leave up that chance for some isolated showers or storms. There's a fly that is extremely interested in the forecast down here. We'll leave that chance in, but as you can see by noon on Future Track, I think by about 11 o'clock or so, we're going to have that pause in activity. And then after 2, we're going to start to see some new shower and thunderstorm development. Now, some of the data has been putting the storms a little further north. And while we could get some isolated up north, and we do have that risk area, it goes that far, the greater chance for more organized thunderstorm development will come later this evening, really right along the I-44 corridor. So between 5 and 6, we start seeing new development, really, again, following on the north side of I-44. And the other problem we have is it kind of sits there too. So now we're looking at that chance for additional flooding concerns, which is why we have flood watches and warnings out there across the region. As we go overnight, these storms, again, don't do a lot of moving, and we could get some additional ones into early tomorrow morning. So we're looking at scattered thunderstorms overnight tonight, but our severe threat, which is already not as the same as yesterday, should begin to wind down, but a strong storm or two could still push through. As we go into the morning hours on our Saturday, that should wrap up, but in the afternoon, we could get a couple of additional isolated storms, and then that's it. We're finally going to get a chance to dry out and clear out. So back to our flood situation, the dark green color, that's that flood watch for most of the region. And we have flood warnings and flood advisories out there. I know I mentioned it. I really just want to drive it home as we get ready to head into the weekend. If you're planning to go to any of the waterways, especially in these areas where these warnings are, you need to make alternate plans. You want to take these warnings seriously. You need to stay away from those rivers and creeks and streams and things like that because we've had so much rain in the past 2 weeks, plus what we got today and this morning, what we're going to get later today and overnight tonight. It's going to take time for these waters to recede. Additionally, you have to remember a lot of locations here are downstream of where the heavier rain has fallen. So take it seriously. If you're heading out, do you know that area floods, your favorite area to go camping, fishing, or just spend time by the water floods, don't do it. Don't get into those rivers or creeks either because that water is going to be flowing a lot more swiftly as well. But worry not because our chance to dry out does come, and if you can hold off for one more week, it should be better next weekend. It's going to be hotter, it's going to be drier, and these water levels should begin to get to a much more manageable level. So again, isolated to scattered storms. I said we're going to leave it in at least as a possibility out there. We're going to go 74 to start and be close to 80 by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, again, scattered showers and storms, especially along and south of I-44, and some of those could be strong, potentially severe. We'll go mid-80s, non-thunderstorm winds out of the southwest, gusting to 25 at times. Winds expected to ease up again tonight, and we'll drop back into the low 70s, and we'll continue with those scattered storm chances. But again, the threat for strong to severe storms should wind down. Get a few of those isolated to scattered storm chances again tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, but heating up, low 90s. And we hang on to the 90s as we head up to the 4th of July. You can see we do have some shower and storm chances as a possibility. Still several days out, so don't cancel your 4th of July plans just yet. But do make sure you're ready for that heat, as heat index values next week could climb 100 to 105. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Blake now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. The simple act of petting animals can boost your mood. According to scientists, animal therapy is a powerful tool for many, including those who are hospitalized. CBS News London tells us about a new law overseas that could make it right for seriously ill patients to have pet visitors.
Therapy dog Kluska is doing the rounds at this hospital in Warsaw. The female Australian Shepherd pays a surprise visit to 58-year-old Wojciech Zelik, who was admitted here with a tumour.
She has such lovely fur to pet. So fluffy, so firm, that fur she has.
Under a new law in Poland, patients in hospices or those receiving palliative care could soon have a legal right to be visited by their own pets. Experts believe animal therapy can boost mental and even physical health. But the presence of a beloved pet can offer even greater benefits. And not just for the patient or their family, but also their dogs.
The dog isn't as stressed. We interpret this as meaning that it simply knows what's happening, that it knows where the owner, who was always there before, has disappeared to.
When Eva Lutka-Kravchik was diagnosed with gallbladder cancer, she first thought of her dog Gaia and whether she had enough time to take care of her. Eva is now terminally ill, and her dog's being cared for by her husband.
My dog doesn't eat much. My dog doesn't want to go outside, only as much as she has to, around the house, and she waits for me, longing for me.
For Ava, the change in the law would allow her to be reunited with her cherished companion to ease both of their pain in the time she has left. Kamal Afzali, CBS News, London.
Yes, we all love our pets, but under U.S. law, only official service dogs can accompany patients in the hospital. Individual healthcare facilities can decide whether to allow visits from pets. That's a look at some of today's health news. We're back right after this. Right now at 5:30, before you hit Grand Lake this weekend, what you need to know about a new swim advisory.
And showers, thunderstorms beginning to exit the area this morning, a few lingering and more expected this afternoon. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, turn around, don't drown is the advice from the Delaware County Sheriff after heavy rains bring flooding conditions back to the county.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOEM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Blake Gully.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Friday, June the 27th.
Yes, time is flying.
Yes, it is. We're almost to the end of the month. 4th of July is a week from tomorrow, which is kind of hard to believe. And thankfully, we're going to get a chance to dry out. Now, we do have some isolated storm chances we're monitoring for the 4th of July holiday. So don't cancel your plans. I mean, we're over a week out, so things can change. But we do need to monitor what's happening this morning. We've had some severe weather last night, had some this morning. We've got storms, we've got flooding, we've got more storms on the way. And eventually, it will stop for at least a little while. Let's start with the live look from downtown Pittsburgh. You can see soggy roadways because, well, we've had a fair amount of rain out there, which is why we have these flooding concerns. Quick look from the Westco camera, 7th and Range line in Joplin showing the same, and from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Hammonds Boulevard in Joplin, looking back to the east. Skywatch Storm Tracker, again, we've got showers and some thunderstorm activity down here into Berry County, so we're talking Purdy to Cassville, Jenkins, near Corsicana, south of Monette. You can see these lightning strikes, though. You see their color? That means they're several minutes old. They're turning this dark gray, and that means they're old lightning strikes. We have some moderate showers heading up to Aurora, Mount Vernon, Freistatt, and Miller, going all the way up on 39 into Greenfield, and eventually up to Stockton. We do have some spotty showers out into Vernon County, so around Nevada, Drywood, then in Barton County, Doyleport, Lamar, Liberal, Golden City, and we have some showers into parts of southeast Kansas as well here between Howard and Sedan over toward Independence, Coffeyville, and then southwest of Oswego. And we've got these little showers going up here into Greenwood County, and not much to them, but they're still there, and they're somewhat new development in a way. The good news is the overall thunderstorm threat and the heavier rain threat is beginning to wind down. The bad news is it's only temporary. We've got more shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the afternoon, evening, and even into part of our Saturday as well. Quick look at the temperatures for you. 69 in Joplin right now, 68 in Pittsburgh, and down south we've had some pretty warm spots. In fact, Grove has actually come up. You're up to 76 now. We've got 76 Grove, our cooler spots. 68s, we've got Yates Center, Iola, Chanute, and Mount Vernon. We're hanging out upper 60s, low to mid 70s, so a fairly mild start given all the rain we've had. Flood watches continuing, but our focus, the flood warnings. So if you know the area you're in is prone to flooding, if you know where you're going to be going today, the route you take, we've gone over this so many times, but it is very important now because we're talking widespread flooding, and we're talking flood warnings that are going to last for a little while. So you need to make sure you're being safe, being smart, turn around, don't drown. You've got to just be cautious out there. And again, if you're heading to any of the waterways for the weekend, maybe consider something else. Maybe your local public pool or the pool in your backyard. May not necessarily be as thrilling always as heading down to the creek, but you don't want to take any chances because this water is also going to be moving very swiftly. And it's better to be safe than sorry. Stay home or at least avoid the rivers, creeks, and streams out there until these water levels can drop. We do have the chance for some stronger storms again later today, a 1 and 2 out of 5 on the wind risk for us for damaging winds. And that's going to start later this afternoon. Between here and the lunch hour, a few isolated to widely scattered shower storms will be possible. By about 11 a.m. to noon, it winds down for a brief period, and then we start to see new development around 4 o'clock. You can see from Lamar to Stockton, and then we get a new line of thunderstorms right along the I-44 corridor. And again, that's where our threat for some strong to potentially severe storms will return again this evening. In the meantime, mid-70s by 9. We'll go about 80 by noon, and similar to yesterday, right back up into the mid-80s out there for those highs. We'll have those thunderstorm chances again tomorrow. Thankfully, we're going to start winding down. We'll talk about what happens after these storm chances and just how hot it's going to get in just a few more minutes. Blake.
Delaware County Sheriff put out a warning to turn around, don't drown. This is in reference to significant flooding of the county's roads due to recent heavy rain. It does not take a large amount of water to push a car off the road. The Facebook post also alerted drivers that going around closure signs can lead to significant fines and court costs. Officials are warning residents about a swimming advisory in Grand Lake. The advisory is due to high bacterial levels in the northern parts of Grand Lake. However, the GRDA says that their tests in other portions of the lake do not indicate a problem. These bacteria are indicators for other bacteria and pathogens that may be present. The advisory will remain in place until further testing indicates the bacteria level is safe for swimming. If you are at or planning a trip to Grand Lake, officials recommend the following. Avoid ingesting the water, swimming with open cuts and when ill, and after swimming or after water contact, bathe as well. Swimming or water contact activities in the northern parts of Grand Lake are discouraged due to increased public health risk. The Joplin Humane Society is teaming up with Pyro Penny to offer something different this 4th of July, a silent fireworks stand in Webb City. The stand on West 4th Street sells sparklers, colorful smoke balls, and calming treats for pets. Animal shelters nationwide see more lost pets in the days after the 4th of July than any other time of the year. And the Humane Society is using proceeds from the stand to cover reclaiming fees for those animals.
These are fireworks developed specifically for pets or people that might have some kind of PTSD involving bright lights and loud noises. So they have these quieter options. Now, of course, they can still cause some stress, so I would use caution but these are a much better alternative.
The stand is open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. through the 5th of July. That's a look at our top stories this morning. Coming up this half hour on KOAM Morning News. The Trump administration wants Congress to make E15 ethanol blended gas available year-round. In Consumer Watch, Chemours is set to pay $450 million to settle federal and state charges over its production and discharge of forever chemicals known as PFAs. Exposure to PFAs have been linked to serious health conditions, including cancer. North Carolina is slamming the settlement, which also allows the DuPont spinoff company to continue making PFAs for commercial and military uses. The Trump administration plans to ask Congress to make ethanol gas blended E15 available year-round. The lower 15% ethanol blend is sold all year, but the 15% blend is subject to waivers because it evaporates more quickly in hotter conditions, creating more pollution. Parents of a minor who was raped by an adult are suing Snapchat and her attacker in Missouri State Court. They claim the app enabled the defendant to lure the girl using its quick add and snap feature maps on its features on the app. According to the lawsuit, the girl joined Snapchat without her parents' knowledge at age 11, and the defendant convinced her she was a teen before the attack. He's serving an 18-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to statutory rape. Snapchat requires users to be 13 years old. The company did not immediately respond to the Associated Press's request for comment. And that's our Consumer Watch. Now here's Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, and again, we've got scattered shower and thunderstorm chances out there. We're seeing some this morning, could get a couple through the morning hours, and then we start to see the return of some strong storm chances later this afternoon into the evening, and a few storms still possible maybe early on Saturday, and then the heat returns. We're going to break down the details right after this and right after our Ag Day Minute.
I'm Haley Bickelhop with today's Ag Day Minute. Well, there was a big win for Bayer on Thursday. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2, dismissing a $1.25 million Roundup verdict and limiting future failure to warn lawsuits. The ruling citing that federal law preempts state-level cancer warning requirements. This decision provides significant legal relief for Bayer, potentially ending decades of litigation. U.S. President Donald Trump is asking Congress to approve more than $11 billion in additional aid for farmers. Now, this new funding would add to $12 billion in aid that the administration has already dispersed to farmers this year. According to this funding request, $10 billion of the new aid would be allocated to row and specialty crop farmers for crops that were planted in 2026. Now, the remaining $1.1 billion is designated for Florida farmers that were hit by winter storms in late 2025 and early 2026. Farmers are getting some special treatment as part of the events surrounding the Great American State Fair in Washington this week. And the president launched the fair on Wednesday night. On Thursday, in the White House Rose Garden, farmers, ranchers, cattlemen, and agricultural producers from at least a dozen states will be wined and dined. Now, the state fair runs for 16 days. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on this station or get updates at agweb.com.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
We've still got that chance for a few scattered showers, rumbles of thunder. We're still seeing some out there in the area. The greater thunderstorm activity really at this point is off to the east and stretching back into northeastern Berry County. That's it. We got some spotty showers, and this will likely be the case through the morning hours as we'll continue with some spotty showers, because you'll see we're here in like Greenwood County, so you get a little development, tries to flare up. So we'll have spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but shouldn't be anything too crazy through the morning hours. However, we do see the return of the chance for strong to potentially severe storms as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. So if you look close enough, just barely getting part of Berry County, there is a 1 out of 5 tornado risk. Remember, even outside of that, the risk is never zero, but for the most part, it's very low. Same with our hail risk, but we do have that chance for some damaging winds, a level 1 and 2 out of 5. And what we've got is we're going to be on the beginning edge of a line of storms that will eventually track off to the east. And in fact, this level 2 out of 5 risk stretches well off to our east. We're just going to be at the beginning stages of those storm chances later today. By 11 o'clock, we should start winding down on most of the rain, and we're going to have an opportunity to dry out for a moment before we start to see some new development. Now, Future Track is hinting at least some spotty showers or storms right along the 54 corridor this afternoon. Those should behave, but we will watch these storms just to be safe, because if you recall that risk area, even the 1 out of 5 still encompasses this zone through 4 o'clock. And then after that, we start to see new thunderstorm development starts to pick up a bit, and that's associated with the cold front, and that's going to line up right along I-44. So by 6, we've got it from about Greenfield, just south of Lamar, so into Jasper, back into Cherokee County. We've got a bit of a gap here in Oklahoma, but the rest of it's down there. And by 8, it all joins together. And so these storms, again, could be strong to severe with damaging winds as the primary concern here as they get going. Now, they'll slowly but surely begin to track east-southeast and begin to exit the area. But at least through the late evening hours, we're going to hold on to that severe threat, at least potential severe threat, until the main complex starts to move. We could get some additional scattered showers and storms out there. While a couple of these may try to become strong, they all should otherwise pretty well behave overnight. But we'll have a few rumbles of thunder into early Saturday morning, and then that should begin to wind down by the afternoon. While a stray shower or storm is possible down south in the Saturday afternoon, I think for the most part afternoon itself, we should be pretty well done with those shower and storm chances. As we head into our Sunday, we get some clouds, we get some sun, and we get some summer type heat out there as temperatures are going to start to climb for us. And the thing is, it's going to be muggy too, because it wouldn't be the 4 states in summertime without that humidity to go along with it. So that's the other thing you need to be cautious about. All right, flood watches continuing through a good portion of today. We have these flood warnings and flood advisories, and I know I'm hammering it at home. I know I'm repeating it 100 times, but I really cannot stress enough, especially with this hot weekend coming up. If you have plans at any of the area waterways, you need to make sure that there's not ongoing flooding concerns. You don't want to go to one of these rivers or the creek or the stream or wherever where there's a flood warning active, because A, you're not going to be able to really get close to it anyway, because it's probably going to be up pretty high, and B, it's going to be flowing swiftly. And it's going to take a few days for these levels to begin to drop back down to much more normal levels. So maybe hold off this weekend going out to the creek in these flood-warned areas, or maybe head to your local pool, or your own pool if you've got one, or I don't know, turn on the hose. Any of those choices are safer than trying to mess around in these flooded areas. And of course, for just general transportation, if you're traveling, you know your area, the route you take is prone to flooding, any of that stuff, you need to make sure that that alternate route is ready to go, because we've had quite a bit of rain over the last couple of weeks. We've got quite a bit overnight into this morning. We've got some at least still on the way. And remember, a lot of these places too feed down. So while the levels may drop up here, it may take a little longer for them to drop down south. So just be cautious, be smart, and play it safe if you're heading out. So let's take a look at the start of our day. We're going to go right around the mid-70s by 8 and close to 80 by 11. So here's the thing, though. I'm going to go ahead and leave up the isolated to scattered storm chances. But again, through the morning and as we get closer to 11 a.m., those rain chances should begin to wind down, at least briefly, until we see new storm development this afternoon. We're going to have another look at your forecast, including that 10-day forecast and the summer heat that's on the way right after this.
Dairy Queen is releasing some new flavors to celebrate America's 250th birthday as well as the World Cup. Just in time for 4th of July, Dairy Queen is launching a Stars, Stripes, and Misty Blue slush float available from June 29th to July 5th. The float includes layers of Dairy Queen Cherry Misty Slush, world famous soft serve, and the Blue Raspberry Misty Slush with festive star sprinkles. As for the World Cup, Dairy Queen has some new Blizzard flavors inspired by international favorites. Strawberry mango flavored matcha, Biscoff cookie, and Mexican style hot chocolate. All are available starting on Monday.
It is always interesting to me how they come up with all these flavors and stuff. Yeah. It's like scents. Like, how do you capture some of these? How do you come up with some of the scents? Like Woodland Hills. Like, what is that? How do you determine what that scent is? And then how do you put it into a candle? And the flavors are the same way. Like, how do you? What's the process here?
Yeah,
it's always gotten me. I just have never been able to keep up with it. But there's so many flavors, so many scents, and I just don't know how they capture all of it. Don't get me. They smell good. They taste good. It's just I don't know where they come up with them from. But that's why I'm here and those folks are there, because they obviously are doing it, right? That's why we have woodland, pine, tree, cone, whatever, candles and things like that. All right. Let's talk about what we got for this afternoon. Scattered showers, thunderstorms going to start to return, and we could start seeing some strong to potentially severe storms. But as we head into the afternoon, I think from about 11 to 1, we're going to have a pause. Like, we'll still be mostly cloudy to just cloudy, but we'll pause in the rain chances, and then we'll start to see them returning. And we'll have southwest winds, so non-thunderstorm winds, gusting to 25 out there. And the reason I'm emphasizing that is because damaging winds are the primary concern with any of the strong to severe storms we see a little later. We'll get a line of storms probably about 6 o'clock this evening. It's going to start to develop right along and north of I-44. It will gradually exit the area, but it's going to be slow moving. So we're going to have to watch out for the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms to the late evening hours. We also need to watch out for additional heavy rain, which will only make the flooding situation in many locations worse than what it already is. We'll be back down in the low 70s overnight tonight. Tomorrow, some of those showers and storms could linger into the late morning, maybe early afternoon, but then it should start to clear out. We'll have mostly cloudy skies on our Saturday, but we're going to start to heat up into the low 90s. We'll hang on to the low 90s all the way through the 4th of July. And yes, there are some shower chances out there. Don't cancel your plans yet. We're more than a week away. A lot can change, but just a heads up, we're watching that potential for maybe some showers and storms heading into the 4th of July. Also, from here to there, as we heat up, heat index values climb as well. Throughout the week, they could be 100 to 105. So make sure you are staying hydrated, taking care of yourself, taking breaks, finding shade and cool spots. That's to check your forecast. Another hour of the KOAM Morning News is up next.